Greetings to readers, viewers, and listeners, and welcome to this next edition of the Autistic SuperBlog's The Hot Take. This one is going to be a little bit similar to the last book review I made, which is God Loves the Autistic Mind from Father Matt. Just want to let you guys know that chats are open right now, so if you want to check me out, please feel free. This one, this book review is going to be something a little bit different. This is going to be something that I've actually gotten a chance to read before, listen to before, but also something that I really liked, not only as a Jeopardy fan, but also as a game show fan. This is the autobiography from the late great Alex Trebek, known as The Answer Is. One of the things I've noticed about me lately is that I've actually gotten another book from I felt like this that wouldn't have had the same impact if I didn't get an audiobook. And you'll understand why that is when you consider that I am a huge game show fan. I mean, my friends from Tell 'em What They Won, Mike, Tom, and Christian always have spoken very highly of Alex Trebek. I'll probably leave a comment on the on I'll leave a comment on where the did a tribute for Alex Trebek, but suffice to say, they gave a glowing tribute to the late Alex Trebek, and this is kind of my way of doing that because when you, I mean, if you're as old as I am, won't mention name, won't mention ages, but if you're as old as I am, there are three things that you know were constant: The Price is Right, Jeopardy, and Wheel of Fortune. Those are the three mainstays. Most of it is because of the audience. Most of it because is where the places are when it comes to the times. But they're always constant. They're things that, as a Spectrumite, you get to appreciate a little bit more as you get older. But that's for another day. When I was listening to The Answer Is, um, it was done by Ken Jennings, yes, but there were other times too where you could definitely, I mean, even though it was Ken Jennings talking, the times that he did, the times that Alex Trebek did talk were things that were important. Like when it one that comes to mind is when Alex Trebek mentioned about the 5-day limit of Jeopardy champions being removed, and his devotion to his wife, who is now his widow. But those kind of things really like stuck for a bit more about the individual, about Alex Trebek as you listen to the book. It really gave you a sense of why why Alex is who he is, what made the person who he was, what made um what he went through so tragic, but also gives you an idea of what he's been through to get to that point. And of course, it mentions Jeopardy too, but it also mentions other things like it also mentions like High Rollers, Classic Concentration, To Tell the Truth. Um, at one point, where the late great Mark Goodson, God rest his soul, had to cover for him because his wife was giving birth. There were those things that really kind of stuck with me, but it also gave me an idea of seeing the beginnings of the late Alex Trebek, seeing where he came from, um, giving us an idea of why he was so timely, why he was so punctual, why he was so why he was so eager for learning. Um, and it's something that I really appreciated during here during the hearing of the answer is, because for me as a game show fan, you only got to see the person like on a TV screen. That's the person you got to see. The answer is was something that gave you a little bit of behind the scenes. Like we all talk about how social media is changing people for the better or for the worse, and for that. And for one other thing, I'll get to that one. I promise. I've been thinking about this one. But that's not here nor there. But Alex was always someone who was very, I don't want to say distant, but very protective of his image. Someone that knew, um, someone that understood the importance of privacy, kind of separating the on-screen person from the person that from the person that's behind the scenes. As someone who deals with being on the spectrum, I deal with masking a lot, and I deal with being having to hide my real feelings from other people. So in that way, I can understand that. Um, all I could say about the answer is that it was a really fun book to listen to. Just even hearing Alex Trebek, even though he was going through pancreatic cancer, just to hear his words, um, uh, 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 fr- Tom Bassett from Tell 'Em What They Want mentioned that it was Audible chocolate, and for that, he definitely was right about that, because hearing him now, after hearing him for so long, knowing that he's no longer around really makes it all the much sweeter. So just a little bit of a shout out to Tell 'Em What They Want and BuzzerBlog too. But I wanted to kind of get that out there to kind of say to the late Alex Trebek, thank you so much for what you've done for us. Thank you so much for impacting our life to the table. Each brings something unique to the table, but also give their own spin on things. It's kind of like the same thing with Drew Carey and The Price is Right. I mean, after Bob Barker, of course, there are going to be people that are going to be loyal friends and true, and I'm one of them. But I'm also someone that's willing to step back and say that the game is what it is because of the legacy, but it's also made people their own. They've also made the games their own. They haven't tried to copy others. I mean, who would? I mean, this is Alex Trebek, God rest his soul, and Bob Barker. I mean, those are two legends. You're not going to be able to champion those guys. I mean, you're not going to be able to top those guys. But what you can do is make the games your own, and that's something to really take into consideration. And as far as the answer is concerned, 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, definitely recommend it. So just if you like this video, check me out here on YouTube. Check me out on Instagram, and you can check out all my work on the Autistic SuperBlog.wordpress.com. Stay safe, stay strong, and as always, shine on. And always be able to phrase your answers in the form of a question.